Hey, Wild for Games coming at you with part 2 of games that I recommend for friends or loved ones, or even if you want to add to your own collection. If you guys haven't had a chance to check out part 1, make sure you do so. I'll put a link in the description below or throw it up in a card for you. Enjoy part 2. Ori and the Blind Forest. Ori and the Blind Forest is a 2D platform game. The player controls Ori, a white guardian spirit who is the light and eyes of the spirit tree. They have the ability to jump and climb and many other abilities that they'll uncover as they progress through the game. Ori is one of the best platforming games that I've played this year, simply because it's half platform, half puzzle solving. I have it labeled as kid friendly, however, I will put a note out there that this will tug on your heartstrings and possibly make you cry. This game holds back nothing. In addition to being an awesome platformer, this game has stunning visuals. Sometimes you just get lost looking at everything that you can do, and the environments in the foreground and background are just captivating. This game is a fun one to play. Go ahead and pick it up. Outlast was one of the most unique games that I've had the pleasure of playing recently. It's a first-person survival horror game, and unlike most games where you're equipped with weapons or some kind of defense, this game you're only equipped with a video camera that has night vision. I can't think of a scare setting. Oh wait, yes I can. You have to go inside an insane asylum to detect what might be going wrong inside. How can this get any worse for our adventure? Oh, I don't know. How about we go inside with a really low battery count on our video camera that has night vision? Luckily, you're able to find batteries, but my God, it is a scary setting. I highly recommend this game. It is an independent phenomenon. It became so popular that they demanded they come out with a second one, which is Whistleblower, which then demanded a third game, which is technically called Outlast 2, which just came out recently. I recommend picking up the Trinity Pack because that way you get all 3 games jam-packed into one. Check it out. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. I hope you brought a change of pants because you're going to need them for this game. Resident Evil's back in full force and it's got a few curveballs. Normally you would play as a third-person perspective. However, when you play as Ethan Winters, our protagonist, you play from a first-person perspective, giving a whole new meaning to Resident Evil's horror survival feature. Unlike its predecessors, Resident Evil 5 and 6, 7 takes a different turn on gameplay. It actually emphasizes horror and exploration over action. If you're looking for a game that'll make you go bump in the night, I say grab your moonshine and banjo and saddle up with this game because it's going to take you on one wild ride. Rocket League. This probably is my favorite game out of all the games I'm going to put on my part 1 and part 2 list. This game is so much fun. And it's not even new. It's old. It is a blast and a half to play with your friends or people online. They keep adding new content with new cars and new game modes all the time to this. This is a great game that anybody can pick up today, whether they're going to play on a keyboard and mouse or a controller. This game I cannot emphasize enough. You must have this game. It's always on sale. You could probably pick it up in between the range of $10 and $20. I highly, highly recommend it. Middle-earth: Shadow of War. Shadow of War is an action role-playing game set in an open-world environment and played from a third-person perspective. The player controls the game's protagonist, who has several natural athletic and combat abilities as a ranger. They also have a unique ability provided to them from the spirit of an elf lord. You as the hero use these combined abilities to complete various missions and side quests. You will spend most of your time hacking and slashing through orcs, which is pretty fluid for the most part, but things can get a little chaotic when there's too much going on screen, which is a real shame. In contrast to the previous game, which was more of a hack and slash, the sequel will have an action role-playing approach, creating a more personalized experience for each player. It will also feature dynamic weather systems, and as well as a day and night cycle to help with the game and enemy behavior. Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight is a 2D side-scrolling platform game presented in 8-bit graphics, but it is so smooth it looks like 16-bit graphics. Players take control of a knight only armed with a shovel. This game will captivate you in moments. It takes the best of all the 8-bit games and brings something familiar to yourself. It feels as similar as playing DuckTales with a pogo jump, or going for a downward thrust from The Legend of Zelda 2. Or perhaps it's the Mega Man layouts that you have for everything, or the overworld map of Super Mario Bros. 3. The nice thing about this game is anybody can pick it up and play it and have fun. Whether you're a new gamer and looking for a brand new adventure, or an old gamer looking for some nostalgia, Shovel Knight is probably one of the best games you're going to find out there. And it's not new, it's old, which means you could probably find it for a cheap discount on Steam, or maybe even a bargain bin box at like GameStop. I highly recommend this game. It is super fun. It also has a few DLCs out there that I recommend checking out as well. Sonic Mania. Let's go back to a time when games only mattered about one thing: how fast you could go. And Sonic filled that void. With blast processing on the Sega Genesis, nothing could keep up with Sonic, and Sonic Mania is no exception. With the game based on Sonic 1, 2, and 3, it is blast processing on the new generation at its finest. You can switch between characters such as Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. It has a familiar flavor to it, but don't worry, it'll keep a new fresh style as you play through the whole game. If you're a Sonic or a Sega Genesis fan, you gotta have this in your hands today. South Park: The Fractured Butthole. The Fractured Butthole builds upon the already widely successful The Stick of Truth, which was an awesome game to its own. If you haven't had a chance, I highly recommend playing that, because that's a game that does it perfectly. The Fractured Butthole hopes to build upon that game that had already established that was a cult classic. Where The Stick of Truth basically had all of its themes laid within mythology of the Lord of the Rings, South Park: The Fractured Butthole takes all of its inspiration from the Marvel and DC movies that have been exploding in the scene as of late. With a turn-based strategy, an off commentary, and humorous jokes, and outlandish story, I can't wait to play this one. I'm really excited and I'm recommending it right now. Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is a farming simulation game primarily inspired by Harvest Moon video game series. At the start of the game, the player creates their character, who becomes the recipient of a plot of land including a small house once owned by his or her grandfather in a small town called Pelican Town. The farm plot is initially overrun with boulders, trees, stumps, and weeds, and the player must work to clear them in order to restart the farm, tending to crops and livestock so as to generate revenue for further expanding the farm's building and facilities. It's a simple game with a simple idea, but it will suck hours upon hours out of you, but luckily, it's all an enjoyment. As you spend more time in the game, you uncover secrets about the town, upgrade your weapons, and expand your farm. Perhaps you'll even find out some of the secrets that lie within Stardew Valley. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. One of my favorite gaming franchises of all time is the Uncharted series. We step away from Drake and Sully to embrace our new dynamic duo. With great mechanics, great gameplay, and gorgeous graphics, this game is absolute fun. The only downfall of this game is it's a little bit short. It's actually shorter than the first Drake Uncharted. However, you can play different styles. You can play run and gun, or you can actually play ninja, giving it replay value. I recommend picking this up whenever you get a chance. Valkyria Chronicles Remastered. Valkyria Chronicles isn't a new game. In fact, it's almost 10 years old. But it's a beautiful, beautiful game. And it's been remastered for the PlayStation 4 and newer systems, so I recommend picking it up. It's a turn-based strategy game based on a fictitious land during a European war of World War II. You take command of a small army, and it's basically like playing chess, where each character has their own individual abilities that you must use to the best of your ability to win each individual level. What made this game so special? Quite simply, it was the art direction. This game is the most creative art style I have seen in a video game in quite some time. It's more beautiful than games being put out today. Valkyria Chronicles earned numerous awards, and the remastered version comes with all the DLC. I highly recommend picking this up. This is probably going to be your favorite game of the decade. Thanks for taking a look through my list of all these games that I recommend. At any time you want to purchase any of these, I put a link in the description below. You can find the cheapest price generally there. But also take a look at some other third-party services like Green Man and Humble Bumble. You might be able to get an actual extra discount there. I want to thank you guys for taking a look. There's a couple of videos over there to your right that you might also enjoy. If you did like this, feel free to share and like it, and also subscribe. You can also follow me on all my social medias down below, or even see me paint on Twitch. I will see you guys all in the next video next time. Take care. Peace.